power is nice because it doesn't shout in our ear every time it joins.
You could just lower the volume of Craig and not worry about it.
Last time I did that, it just reset for some reason.
Oh.
I don't know why. I couldn't bother to click them again.
Fair.
What's up, everyone? We are recording a week later instead of 2 weeks later because we love you guys that much. Definitely not trying to get back onto a schedule. That's definitely not the reason. For us, it's the 22nd of August. How has everyone's week been? I don't think too much has happened. I doubt.
King?
Honestly, it's been pretty uneventful, if I'm going to be honest. Hopefully later on it kicks up, but right now I'm kind of just chilling at home, waking up really fucking late on the weekend, which is typical.
Nice. Yeah, I'm in a lot of muscle. I have a lot of muscle pain. A little bit of chest pain, not that much. So yeah. It's not my normal. It's not the heart attack chest pain. It's just chest pain. So, for those who do care, I'm fine. I hope. Knocking on wood. Dev?
Yeah, nothing really going on in my life. Super game's been alright. A gacha game. That's basically the only new thing in my life right now.
It's really fun, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, there is not too much. I don't do much in a week, so unless you want to hear about my days at work, which are always the same. So
yeah,
exactly. I don't even want to talk about them. So we've got a chapter of Eden's. We got chapter of Eden 0, which you kind of touched on last week, but the chapter wasn't out, so we didn't really go into it. And then we got the fairy tale chapter as well. And then the last two topics, I won't say what they are yet, but they're not the longest conversations, but they're nice little conversations to have.
Did you guys read the Dragon Quest one shot?
I did, actually.
Nope.
King? Of course you fucking didn't. Of course you didn't. Expectations are set at 0.
What the fuck even is it?
It's a one shot of Dragon Quest by Hiro Mashima.
Yeah, I literally don't care about that whatsoever.
It was actually. It was a
nice chapter. It was fun.
Fun fact: there was like 0 fan service.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, that's actually a good thing.
It was actually a nice one shot.
Yeah. So it's funny because I bought the magazine. I paid a fuck ton, in my opinion, for a magazine that usually costs like $3-4 in Japan, right? And then they're like, "Oh, you gotta rip the pages." So I was like, "No, motherfucker, oh, no, no." And they're like, "All right." And then the guy who provided it, who has a proper writer and typeset it, he was like, "Fine, I'll buy it." He bought it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be ripping no fucking magazine I just bought and paid like half my fucking account balance for. What the fuck? But yeah, it's a good read.
Based on the game, isn't it?
It's like a prequel to the game. I've never played the game. This one shot did come out 2 years ago.
Oh, I thought it was new.
No, it came out 2 years ago, and nobody had translated it. I found it online. I forwarded those details to the guy, and yeah, they did the thing. That's pretty good. If you don't like Dragon Quest, it's still a pretty good read. It has a nice little beginning, middle, end to this.
Yeah, that's another thing. I know nothing about Dragon Quest in general. Never played, so.
Yeah, neither have I. So, but it's still, like I said, it's a fun read. It was just so weird.
Pages.
Yeah, 62 pages, and it's so weird because they actually mentioned that he works at Weekly Shonen Magazine and that he's a storyboard writer for Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, and he has Eden 0, which is, for me, it was weird because it's in the Jump Plus magazine, so I was like, weird. But yeah, Do you have any memorable moments from the chapter or the one shot, if you will, that you like?
What was the main dude's name again?
Dirk is
Well, that guy.
Dirk. No, Eric. His name is Eric. The fat one is Dirk.
Yeah, when the fight started and he had his little backflip, where he dodged the attack and then he grabbed the sword because he stole the guy's glove. That was sweet. That was a nice little tactic there.
Yeah, he looked pretty badass.
What about you?
Torna was nice to see a character that wasn't sexualized by Mashima.
It was actually a nice character. Reminded me a little bit of Juvia.
Yeah, the proofreader said, "Yeah, it's Juvia with black hair." I was like, probably.
I ain't complaining.
It's Natsu. For the haters out there, it's basically Natsu, Juvia, and a fat Whis. Or a fatty Chia.
I'd say Ichio.
But
Without
yeah,
the pervy side of it.
that was fun. So yeah, that was the one shot, and you could find it on the server, Sorcerer Weekly, Manga Dex, and probably any other aggregate that stole it from there. So, yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm lying.
No, you ain't.
No, it seems pretty accurate to me.
Don't forget, they'll take away the credits page. My bad. I forgot that. They'll take away the credits page. So shout out to Zach for typesetting, cleaning, redrawing, and then of course getting the magazine itself. Shout out to Ivan Tail for translating it, and shout out to Riri B for proofreading the translation. So yeah, shout out to them.
Good shit, guys.
Now, on to my favorite topic: King leaving and us talking Eden Zero.
Oh, teehee, go fuck yourself. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later, and I'll be back for Fairy Tale.
Don't fall asleep.
I won't.
Get your pizza in it.
Dad, you wanna just talk about the chapter?
Yeah, sure. It was nice to see Lyra's cards and how they actually work. Though I will say, pretty nothing I don't really care about it too much. But at least it's not just changing a fucking number on a card or throwing cards alone. At least it does something else. I have to say, having Jin and Clean together in the first panel where they both use their attack, and then the second one where they're standing together in their overdrive. Really nice. I've got to say, I think Clean's boobs got bigger.
They did.
Okay, cool. I wasn't the only one seeing shit.
It was a lot of people mentioned that her tits got bigger, and I was like, "That's the first thing you looked at."
Well, but yeah, the chapter was nice. I actually quite liked it quite a bit. I think the fight was interesting to watch, and it showed the moment they went into overdrive that it was basically game over for them.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It was fun. I still don't care for the card magic or card ether gear, whatever the fuck. It's card magic at this point.
What about the fight?
I thought the fight was really well done. I liked how we have Android 17 and Jin fighting, and then Jin's like, "You've activated my trap card." He goes, "Oh, ether gear." He bulked up too during the ether gear fight, or when he activated his overdrive. He got a little bulkier, which was cool. And then we see Clean be like, "Yo, I could do this shit too," and just goes overdrive. And I was like, "Oh yeah, these motherfuckers are gonna get clapped." And yeah, Well, we'll talk about it in the next chapter or the next chapter that's there. Actually, let's just talk about them both at once because that doesn't even matter. It's basically a continuation. They both get clapped pretty fucking bad by Overdrive, Jin, and Clean. So
Yeah, well, we've only got the one chapter, which is 155.
no, we have two.
Do we?
It was when we didn't talk about 154. 154 was the
No, 156 isn't out yet.
oh that's right because it was on break.
Yeah, fam.
This is what happens when you work on the Reddit and you get spoiled there. Oh, bitch. So I'm sorry. So yeah, the Winds of Eden. I like the name. Not gonna lie to you.
I think it's probably my favorite, like, because obviously all the stars have their own something of Edens. The Winds of Eden is nice.
And you can tell that Jin has really embraced being part of the group.
I feel like he kind of had to.
Yeah, because his sister wanted it.
Yeah.
But
Still nice though. Still really nice to see. I think this. I'm not gonna say it solidifies that they're probably gonna stay with the team, but I think they're gonna be with us for a while.
no, it solidifies that they're gonna stay with the team unless they die.
I think they might. I think they might pop off at some point.
I think Laguna will definitely pop off at some point, but Jin has very much shown to be the Vegeta to Shiki's Goku, right? His little rival / friend. And then we know Clean is in love with just the camaraderie of the group, so I don't think they're gonna leave.
Well, I wouldn't mind if they stay.
I
like them both, so I am fine with that.
Maybe they'll do a couch po thing where she's on the ship, but you sometimes forget because homie just doing their own thing, which wouldn't be a bad thing. I just said thing like 6 times. I'm sorry, but yeah, that panel was gorgeous. The Winds of Eden panel was amazing.
Yeah, the one before it and that one, they both of them.
Oh, the little the full spread or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah,
really clean.
Oh, and I gotta of course mention the chapter cover was very excellent.
Fucking Mosque, bro. I want to say I feel sorry for him, but I don't. I envy him.
No, the homie's blushing. He's into that shit.
Oh yeah, he doing this shit, fam.
Oh, remember in the bonus comic where he's fucking visualizing sister being like her clothes ripped and she's getting like not tortured, but you get me, like she's put in a very submissive state, and he's like, "I'll save you." You could tell this motherfucker dreams of banging her. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but you could tell he does.
Yeah. The chapter name Winds of Rutherford was also quite nice.
Yeah.
I think this whole chapter altogether was just really well put together, especially with with those two. There's a complete focus on them.
Mm-hmm. And then we get the little entire backstory in that one page, page 9, right? Who am I? As a child, I was the firstborn of a wealthy Rutherford family. Then when Mueller dismembers them quite literally, and then he went searching for his sister. And then when he gets betrayed by that fake sister, and then he meets the Eden Zero, and he literally says, "Then, okay, until I encountered the Eden Zero, the next thing I knew, it became home." So these motherfuckers are not leaving something that they consider home. So I feel like that kind of solidifies that they're definitely not leaving unless something really happens. Because even if they find their parents, I don't think they'd go back because they're too far gone from who they were that they wouldn't. And then the last and then we get the little backstory some more. When I was gonna say that final panel with Ocean, you're just as useless as the rest of them. What do you think she's gonna do?
That was that's the secretary to what's his name, isn't it?
Oh, it's a sex worker turned secretary.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what her ether is because I have a feeling she's gonna do some shit, fam.
It's pole dancing or some shit.
Extendo polo.
Go gadget polo.
But I'm interested to see because I feel like someone who's going to be the secretary of, well, Shura is going to have some pretty powerful ether gear. So
Yeah.
that's if she even has one. Obviously, we don't know if she does, but I would imagine she does.
I mean, the way she's talking, it seems like she does. Like she wouldn't call them useless
Yeah.
unless she's like packing something. Overall thoughts on the chapter, like out of 10, what would you give it?
I'll give it a solid 9, maybe a 10. It was actually I thoroughly enjoyed it. So
Yeah, I'll agree. I mean, I'll go to the 10. Just because we finally got rid of discount card maker. Discount Yu-Gi-Oh! Without the heart of the cards. The other annoying fuck. No, Calyx wasn't annoying. That was confusing him with the other one with the third eye that looked like a fucking pedophile. Calyx was, or Callum, I'm sorry, was good. Their backstory was interesting. I liked it. I liked how, like you said at the beginning of the chapter, the title is The Winds of Rutherford. And then this entire chapter is about them, except the very last, literally the last page. So it's a very great chapter. 10 out of 10. Keep it up, Mashima. You're doing your thing. Don't give us no more card magic because we've seen enough of it. But yeah, anything you wanna talk about the spoilers?
I haven't really looked at him, so
Yeah, neither have I.
yeah, no point.
True. And yeah, like I said, people check out the Reddit. I worked on it, organized it a little more, made it a little better. So yeah. And yes, because so on Reddit that you have the downvote feature, right? And you could change the image for it, and I made it the Rebecca's B cube. And people were asking me, why did you make it that? I was like, well, Rebecca's B cubing skills are utter shit, so that's why she gets the downvote to hell. So yeah. All right. Nothing more to add. 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Split the difference, 9.5 from both of us.
Yeah.
And yeah, there you go. Obviously, of course, you could read the chapter. This is horrible. You could read chapter 155. 155 on Azuki. You could buy it in Bookwalker. Read it in Comixology. Read it in Crunchyroll or wherever you wanna not support the official release. So yeah, it sounded kind of hostile, huh? I'm sorry. No judgment from me.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. We all know there's no judgment coming from you.
Not today, because I'm feeling under the weather. But next week.
Next week, yeah, you're gonna come. All right, cool.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about this fairy tale chapter, and then you're gonna really see how I feel. If King fell asleep.
You definitely fell asleep in his pizza.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, I'm back.
How was the pizza?
I know you're joking, but I'm sure it would have been good.
Oh man! All right, so fairy tale. We've got chapter 88.
Yep.
The face.
I like the chapter cover. I'm just gonna start. I'm sorry, King.
Cool.
You could talk about
It's
what
fine.
you like afterward, but I really like the chapter cover. It's very simple but very nice because I know how we talked about last time how it looked very sloppy, if you will,
Yeah.
with Lucy beating the shit out of Lasana in volleyball. But yeah, I really like this chapter cover. It was nice. So yeah. Anyway, King, go ahead. Your thoughts on the chapter?
Chapter cover, honestly, like pretty good. if I had a main issue with the chapter, I'll just bring that up out front. Like it just seems like Yuta or Mishima have not been great when it comes to like really deciding what the issue with this world is. It's like it seems to be constantly changing. It's like, oh, first it's like it's just happening, and they're just been doing it, and then Celine came, and now there's like Alta Face or whatever, and first the hands are just whatever, and then the hands are evil, and now they're just kind of whatever again. But now they, except for like the part where where the fingernail demons come out, and yeah, I don't know. That part was just kind of annoying. I thought the fight itself was okay, though. I thought Irene explaining that thing about the magic powered body detector or whatever. Honestly, that kind of makes sense. I mean, that's literally Y2K right there, if you think about it. I don't know if you guys who are listening to this are actually old enough to remember Y2K, but there was basically this big fucking scare back then. That was like, what happens when all the computers reach zero on the timers? Because like 1999 goes to 2000, it's hits zero, then midnight hits zero, obviously, and goes from 12 to 1, but there's it's the reset. So I don't know, I actually thought that was kind of amusing. I don't know if Yuta or Mishima did that intentionally, but that's kind of what it reminded me of. So I don't know, I found that part pretty amusing, and then it was like, oh well, let's just focus, the computer might think it's zero, but we know, so we can always just reprogram, reset ourselves or whatever. So it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense. So on that part, I actually enjoyed it. I will say I liked that part, but the only part of the chapter I didn't particularly like was just the way it was handled. They attack, Alta Face seemingly crumbles, and it's like, oh, that's what it means to be a fairy tale wizard or whatever, and it's like, that's it. That's it. That's the most generic ass fairy tale thing you could have possibly done. I thought we were past this kind of stuff, to be honest. But honestly, it's just whatever. So yeah, do you guys want to go next?
Let me just comment on this real quick. Then I will say, Wendy did enchant them. They're in a world that gives them super fucking magic. And they already have super magic, and they're enchanted by even more super magic that's super duper magic, right? So of course it'll be a lot easier to fucking fight. My problem was, where the fuck was this when you're fighting Celine? Where the fuck was this when you're fighting Discount Shakespeare? The fuck?
Okay, but now on the other hand, you say that, right? Wouldn't that extra power also apply to the Alta Face?
My question is maybe not, because Alta Face is the source or whatever, and maybe the source itself can't.
But then if it's the source itself, then surely it shouldn't be able to get one shot. To me,
it's I don't know. To me, it's the leaking effect. Their batteries taking power out of the main battery or something and smashing it back.
It felt to me.
I don't know. Just to explain further, what if the Green Lantern power battery were leaking, and then Green Lanterns took it? They would be able to smash the battery theoretically. I mean, they've done that in the comics.
Green Lantern's trash anyway. Dad, go.
Eat my ass.
What this felt like to me is that they wanted some kind of big bad, oh shit moment. Right, we had that with the fucking what's it called in Earthland, right? It was a big problem. The dragons had to come in and do the big boom.
Oh, face,
yeah. But the dragons had to come in and break the ship. It felt like this was basically a callback to that, and it seemed like it was meant to be this massive issue that I have to solve now. Basically, adding another fucking crappy layer. Oh, you had the big bad to fight. Oh, you didn't win. Oh, here's another big bad. Oh, here's another one. Oh, and then they just go and one shot it, and then I'm like, guess the dragons one shot it. Now you lot have one shot it. All kind of mystery, all kind of oh shit, what the hell do they do now? Just went way out the window.
Okay.
It felt like there was Wendy's little transformation where she was Super Saiyan. That looked great. That looked cool.
Everybody was.
That was the only hype thing of the whole chapter. That was it. And then they one shot the thing, and I'm like, okay. So that's all.
I get you.
It's that was as anticlimactic as what's his name, God Serena, bruv.
Don't disrespect this with comparing it to that.
God Serena.
I mean, they're both pretty shit.
God Serena walked in, clapped out a couple man, and then appeared, and then got clapped out again. And this thing appeared, caused a bit of trouble, and it got clapped out instantly. I don't know. This is making me hope that this arc is going to finish soon.
It probably will finish in the way it's going.
I hope
we
so.
actually talked about how let's hope it finishes within 3 chapters. Dave jokingly said that they finished this motherfucking fight in 1 fucking chapter.
Exactly. So now Suzaku loses in 1 chapter, or he retreats, and Celine loses in 1 chapter. There we go, sorted. Maybe chapter 91. And let's all go home.
So for me, I'm gonna use currency conversion, if you will. For me, Earthland is basically like the euro, right? It's like, and then we got Elentier as the US dollar. Which one is worth more, the fucking euro? Right? It's going down. I understand people. It's going down, yeah, but it's still worth more than $1. So when you convert, for me, they converted their Earthland magic into Elentier magic. When you're converting the euro to the dollar, you're getting a lot more than if you're converting the dollar to the euro, right? So for me, I was like, okay, they're getting significantly stronger because they're already strong as fuck. And then we have Wendy enchanting them personally with her euro fucking abilities, which made it, for me, it made sense that, okay, yeah, they knocked this shit out really fast because this is Elentier. This is like the US dollar. It's good in some countries, but essentially worthless for the most part. And yeah, that's my only argument, or my only counterpoint to it didn't make sense for them to defeat it, because I never saw Elentier as having the stronger magic. Yeah, it amplifies the magic. It makes it seem more. But for me, it always seemed like Earthland is the base of the series, so they wouldn't make it, this other universe, their magic is going to be stronger than yours. So,
I mean, I get where you're coming from, and I'm not actually upset that they defeated Altiface myself, but I have to say, just economically, that argument does not make any sense whatsoever.
Well, it's kind of hard to make the comparison though, because I didn't know how to make it. For me, it was like,
I just think it shouldn't have been a 1 shot.
I think the Green Lantern comparison is probably the easiest one to understand for people.
I don't know. They both sounded like shit.
And if they like Green Lantern, which nobody,
well, you don't have to like it. I mean, I think Green Lantern's a great superhero, but I think in terms of like understanding the mechanics of how the battery works, it makes perfect sense.
Which is your favorite Green Lantern?
Hal Jordan, easily.
That's disgusting. You're fucking fired.
What am I? You're gonna call me a racist or something?
No, I'm gonna call you a homophobe for not picking the gay one.
To be fair, they all have their tendencies.
Yeah, I know. I'm just chatting shit because it's the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, as you can see, people, we're semi-divided in this conversation about how they were defeated. I think we're in agreement though that it ended too fast. I mean, blame fucking Dav. He's clearly fucking Yuta or some shit. Wanting this shit over.
Whoa! Don't out me. Holy shit! I'm not trying to get people DMing me saying, "When's Nalu gonna happen?"
I mean, it's already canon.
That's all I've been seeing, bruv.
It's
gonna happen soon. Shut the fuck up and enjoy the fights. Shit will come when it comes.
King, you were gonna say something?
I was just gonna ask, when is Nalu coming?
Shut the fuck up.
You worth this piece of shit.
Go get your fucking pizza.
See, this is what happens when you're a happy fan. You lose your mind and you just ask random questions.
Oh, go jump off a cliff.
Well, at least you didn't say go have a
Then
party.
maybe your favorite fucking happy will save your ass. Or not. I hope he doesn't.
You're Canadian. You're supposed to be nice, you piece of shit. Anyway, people, this turns into a shit show because the chapter was kind of meh. Actually,
Yeah.
no, you know what? I there was a couple of panels I did like.
Yeah.
I know. No, yeah, there was some nice drawn panels.
It wasn't that the chapter was shit. It's just that the fight was shit.
The full spread, I think that's what it's called, of the team not to just in their attack pose was pretty fucking sick. Shout out to Zach for cleaning that shit up and making it look mad nice.
Zach, you're a fucking madman.
Yeah,
bro.
there were some good, there were well drawn panels. Yeah, I think those action scenes were good, but overall, I don't know. I just didn't care for anything. I thought this was definitely one of the more below average chapters.
You know, it's funny because I was talking. I caught up with a buddy because we haven't talked in a bit, and he's like, "I always see your name." I was like, "What the fuck you mean?" And then I said my real name. He's like, "No, stupid, your Spider-Man name." And then he showed me the website, and I was like, "Oh, fuck!" You know, I can't say the word. And yeah, I was recognized for the website, so it's okay. That was just a funny moment.
Good shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So the chapter was kind of. I liked I liked the panels. I liked the art. I just didn't like the handling overall. Because like King said, and I know I kind of been waffling or flip flopping. But yeah, for Alta Face to be like, "Yo, I'm this big bad motherfucker," and then yeah, you're wrecked. I get it's fairy tale, and I kind of understand. I kind of justified it the way I explained it. Horrible explanation, I understand, but I kind of justified it that way. Yeah, but it just felt like. So that's it, huh? Okay. Nothing more. That's cool. So yeah, Dad, what would you give the chapter, or any final thoughts?
I give the art an 8. I give the actual chapter itself a 6.
King?
I don't know. I gave the chapter a 4.
And the art?
The art? Yeah, no, I thought the art was fine. Maybe. Generally, I'd say across the board, it was probably a 6. And I'd say the individual panel that we were talking about earlier, that's probably a solid 8.
Fair. I would give the chapter a 6. I would give the art an 8. And if we're keeping score, Mashima is a storyboard art writer. So if you're going to be bitching at someone, bitch at Mashima. But you shouldn't be bitching anyway, because you're an ungrateful fuck who's just reading the chapter for free and not even supporting it. So yeah. Damn, I'm kind of in a bad mood, ain't I?
It's all good.
Damn, the listeners are gonna be like, "Damn, this motherfucker a dick." So anyway, what were the last two Wait, before we get to the last two topics, King, have you seen Loki?
No, but I will, because my contact is returning very shortly. So probably by the time of the next podcast, I will have had the chance to follow up on Loki, and I will be able to possibly discuss it on the podcast, or if we feel like we have enough, have a podcast about it.
This guy's talking about context and fucking. Damn, this guy's too official for us, bro. He's got Disney contacts and everything.
First fucking Amazon. I was like, Disney, holy shit.
Okay,
who's next? That's Sony, bro.
The next topic is about a different kind of royalty. It's about the King of Hell. The trailer for season. Yeah. Oh shit, you're right. But okay, well, we'll get into it because that seems to be up for debate. But yeah, guys, the next topic is Lucifer's season 6 trailer. It dropped last week. Yep, the final season. I saw the trailer when it debuted, trended on Twitter as it normally does. Honestly, it looked pretty decent. So I want to just jump right into that. What you guys? I assume you guys saw it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, so yeah, what did you guys think about it? Who wants to go first?
First, I want to mention, I'm happy they're addressing Dan, because at the end of the season, I was stressed about Dan, bruv. I'm not gonna lie. When they mentioned Dan's not in heaven, and then no one else talked about it anymore or brought it up. I was like, "Hey, yo, my boy Dan."
To be fair, they really only had one episode to deal with it, if even that.
No, I wasn't the one them to deal with it, but just no one. mention
could've-
it again.
Yeah,
Well, no, because like at the beginning of the last episode, Chloe actually found out that Amenadiel lied at the funeral, and then everything else was occupied by the battle with Michael and his followers, and then the fight ended with Lucifer becoming God and
Yeah,
everybody
but still,
bowed
like
to him.
I was pretty stressed about the fact that, like, no, that Dan just didn't exist basically anymore.
I don't know, like I thought that was like reasonable. I always kind of felt like we were going to get that in the next season anyway.
We need our boy to. We need to find out what's happening with him.
Yeah, I am curious because like he was in the trailer, and we know his actor is directing at least one episode, so it begs the question, like, what's up with him right there?
Yeah. Now the actual whole entire trailer. I am super hyped for the amount of shit that we're gonna get. Because obviously the ending of the last season kind of left us in a boat where they've got they've got loads of different problems they need to address and tie up, which it looks like the season's gonna do, and I think it's gonna be a great finale. And I'm excited for that scene in hell that scene in hell. I think that's going to be pretty traumatizing.
I'm curious
What about you
about
guys?
that girl with the white hair who is in hell. Like, who is that? Like, what figure? She must be a figure from the Bible of some sort, but nothing is like necessarily. I mean, obviously, I'm not a biblical scholar of any kind, but I would want to know, like, who might there be in the Bible that has like a specific reason to want revenge against the devil?
Then again, who doesn't want revenge against the devil?
I mean, sure, but like I feel like there has to be a specific biblical story attached in the same vein of like Cain and Abel or Eve and whatever.
Also, our boy made out of hell at the end of last season. I want to see him again. I have a feeling we might get interaction from him. The black criminal,
Dan?
the dude that was living his hell on the boat.
Oh, Mr. Set Out bitch. Yeah, well, he's in heaven, so
Yeah.
I think we'll see him again, but like
That's
more
what I'm
as
hoping we
more the
actually
same way
see.
that we always see him.
I'm hoping he has a bit of a role to play. That's what I want.
Yeah, he was funny. I like that guy.
Yeah, Spidey. What about you?
It was a. Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can. Okay. The chapter was a clusterfuck of things. They're animated. Lucifer's telling the
That
cops
should look funny, bro.
Lucifer's telling the cops he's gonna die. The white bitch you guys talked about, white-haired bitch. I'm sorry. Yeah,
That's okay. We know what you meant. We're not gonna comment on that though.
Yeah, it looked like it was all over the place, but I trust the showrunners enough because they haven't really disappointed. They clearly have a plan, so I'm hoping they just stick the landing.
I don't see them not sticking the landing. Nothing in the trailer jumped out to me in a sense of, okay, well, what the fuck are they doing? This looks stupid. Everything.
The only thing I can think of is like probably that thing with the girl in hell was like that could just be a case of like, okay, I'm disappointed by this character resolution, but that was the only thing for me. I feel like the rest of the things that come up in this season will probably be relatively entertaining.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I don't think it will be. I don't think she's going to play the most. Actually, I do think she's going to play a somewhat vital role, but I don't think it's going to be one to the point where she would be a make or break, which is nice.
I mean, hopefully you're right. But yeah. When does the season drop again?
I think
September.
We were given a date, were we?
I think it was September 10th. I'll double check.
Damn, so we get Cobra
Oh yeah,
Kai.
September 10th. Holy
Got it.
shit, that's like 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's not much time at all. Theoretically, the next
3 weeks, holy
podcast
shit.
could be out by then.
Oh no, the
3
next
weeks, bro.
podcast. I thought the next podcast was next week for the chapter.
Next week.
Yeah, so we can
Yeah,
get back on schedule.
there's a fairy tale chapter this week.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Well, actually, then the next podcast, we'll probably have at least a handful of episodes watched, assuming they're dropping the whole thing at once, which I think they will, because generally they will.
Yeah, Netflix doesn't do the thing that Disney Plus or.
Well, sometimes they do.
They do. With what?
Well, with more serialized shows like The Flash or whatever.
But those are CW shows.
That's true. That is. I didn't know you're right about that point.
Yeah. No, I'm talking more about like their Netflix.
Their own originals. Yeah, that's true. I hope Disney Plus. I will say, I hope Disney Plus changes up that model. I really want to get to like binging some of these Netflix shows. Like, I know it's tough because they have a lot of time to fill between movie releases, but still,
Disney is just doing a whole bunch of stupid shit right now.
Yeah,
but that's for another day. So yeah, September 10th, you'll probably see a podcast of it on the 13th, on the 12th. 12th.
Yeah, something to that effect.
Yeah. The 12th is when we would probably record next anyway. So if I can make my wife watch it, because I'm not gonna wait a fucking month just to watch it. But yeah, that was Lucifer season 6 trailer discussion. King, what is our next topic that Dev will not know anything about?
Yeah, most likely. The cast has been announced for the How I Met Your Mother spinoff called How I Met Your Father. We did have a discussion about this several podcasts back. At that point, all we knew was that there was going to be a spinoff, and Hilary Duff, former Disney star, was going to be, the star of the show. So, yeah, that's all we knew back then. But now we have an announcement of the whole cast. So, what do you think? Do we want to just like jump into it or whatever and talk about them one by one?
Yeah, we could do that. I'm looking for the name of the full cast.
Okay, and there's a million tweets about it. I might have linked one. But yeah, so basically I'll start off with Hilary Duff because they did actually announce it. So her character's name is Sophie, and she's basically the Ted of the series, of course. Story begins in 2021, the way How I Met Your Mother began in 2005, like the story did. They're all going to be living in New York. She's going to be the narrator telling her son about how she met his father. So apparently it is just like one son or whatever. Yeah. So it seems like I'm actually reading an article. It says How I Met Your Father will use both multi-camera and single-camera methods in much the same way as the original. Just as Ted Mosby, played by Josh Radnor, walked his kids through the ups and downs of dating, working, and cultivating lasting friendships in Manhattan, Sophie will tell her son how she did the same. Of course, like, it's going to be different because hers involves like social media, dating apps, and stuff, whereas like that stuff really only came up in the very end of How I Met Your Mother, because How I Met Your Mother ends technically in like the show ended in 2014, but the story ends in 2013, and so far as like that's the season where Barney and Robin's like wedding takes place. So obviously they're going to talk about like other stuff like COVID-19 and presumably the BLM stuff and whatever else is important for people to talk about. So, can we get into the cast? Have you looked at the list?
Yeah, I looked at the list.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now. It's kind of... this is going to sound... I think we did talk about the cast a little bit in previous podcasts.
We did not. We only talked about Hilary Duff.
No, because I remember talking about
You haven't
Valentina.
mentioned much at all.
No, I remember us talking about Valentina, who was the roommate.
I don't remember us talking about her at all.
Nah, you might have. Maybe you talked about it when we talked about How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Fuckers.
Yeah, we did talk about like other characters of How I Met Your Mother. So I know I mentioned Victoria, for example, so unless you're confusing the two of them, which is weird, but okay, yeah. So like, let's talk about the cast. So, the person who's playing Hilary Duff's roommate is named Valentina. Like the actress' name is Francia Raisa. I don't know.
Francia Raisa.
Oh, my bad. Well, you would know that one better. for obvious reasons. So yeah, and apparently she is a stylist and has a new boyfriend from Britain named Charlie, who is played by Tom Ainsley, and he is a very rich dude, basically. And that's maybe they'll be like the Lillian Marshall of the series. Next is Chris Lowell, who is from the show Veronica Mars, which I believe was Kristen Bell's detective series, unless I'm
Yeah.
totally misremembering that.
Yeah, no,
He's
you're right.
playing. Yeah, okay. He is playing Jesse, who is an Uber driver and wants to be a musician. He's living with his best friend. His best friend is played by is a guy named Sid, and he's played by Suraj Sharma. The show that they've given for him is Wedding Season, but I think most people will probably know him better from Life of Pi, the movie that won a bunch of Oscars back in like 2013, 2014. And Sid is a bar owner and the roommate, so that is interesting. So they definitely got some of that McLaren's, stuff going on.
Mhm.
And someone named Tien Tran from Space Force, never actually seen that.
Don't watch that.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Will play Jesse's adopted sister, Ellen, who hopped a plane to New York from a small farming town after ending a relationship with her wife.
Okay.
So that's interesting, because the article also says Charlie's the rich British guy, is the son of conservative aristocrats, but evidently the conservative aristocrats adopted a lesbian. Though I guess if they adopted her when she was young, they wouldn't know that she was a lesbian, because that doesn't seem like something rich people or conservative people approve of. But words what's changing. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyways, they haven't actually announced an air date yet for this show. They're just saying, it'll be someone, it'll come along when it comes along, I guess. But
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I think you confused them, because Charlie doesn't have the sister. It's Jesse who does. Jesse's the one who's.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
me. Yeah, no, you're right about that. He's
Okay.
Jesse's. She is Jesse's adopted sister, not Charlie's. My bad. I totally misread that.
Yeah. No good. No worries. Yeah. So I'll just say this: it feels like they're trying hard to be like, look, we have every type of individual on this
Yeah, right.
cast. Don't hate us. I mean, if it's done well, I don't care.
I feel like this is like there's like an episode of How I Met Your Mother. Sorry to interrupt. There's an episode of How I Met Your Mother called The Overcorrection. This is an overcorrection for How I Met Your Mother's cast.
Yes, it truly does feel that way. They have basically two white people, and the rest are.
Well, no, three, right? If we count the British
Hillary
boyfriend.
Duff. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't counting Hillary. Silly me.
Oh, you were just counting the supporting cast.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel they'll also be the main. They'll all be the main cast, I guess. And it's 3 girls and 3 guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
3 girls, 3 guys. 1. Yeah. So I don't know. It just feels like you said, an overcorrection. And this could go one of two ways. It could go good, and you won't notice it. You'll notice it, but it's done in a way where it's like, okay, it's not because you're trying to score politically correct points, or it could be done so poorly that you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's a very delicate balance, and I don't know if you've seen the show, but I feel like Superman and Lois on CW is actually doing this stuff like pretty well. But there are other shows that are doing
so
really bad.
Fucking good. Everyone go watch Superman and Lois.
We'll talk about that right now, Dev. Don't even trip.
Well, no, we'll talk about that after we finish this, because I didn't even know if you guys had been watching it. But I feel like when it comes to like having like a sufficiently diverse cast, like they're doing a good job. Because the way I see it in Superman and Lois, it just is realistic. Like the people in real life that you interact with will be, like they'll be white or black or Indian or like Hispanic or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So in that show, they're doing it well. Whereas it's like if you put it all together in like this main cast circle, it's like I get it. People are gonna fucking complain and stuff because that's what people like to do. They like to fucking complain and stuff. But like I don't know, to some extent, like if you go overboard, it does come off as an overcorrection. Now it's like, okay, well now you're just straight up fucking pandering.
Yeah, that's you put it better for them. It could go one of two ways. You're either pandering and it's bad, or you casted them because you felt they fit the role you wanted them to fit, and it's great. So I'm hoping it's the latter. No, yeah, the latter. But I don't know.
Yeah, we want good casting, and to the extent that I've seen these actors, and I'll be honest, I've really only seen two of them, Hilary Duff and Suraj Sharma. I think like when it comes to stuff, I know I was pretty harsh about Hilary Duff last time we talked, but like honestly, she's probably fine for the role. I don't know that she'll necessarily do it as well as Josh Radnor did Ted, because I really, generally believe that performance in terms of like I know this is a sitcom, blah blah blah, but we'll see. And I know Suraj Sharma is like a pretty decent actor. He did The Life of Pi. I haven't actually like I don't know if sorry, I've seen it obviously. I don't know if he won any awards for it, but I thought in that role I thought he did like pretty well. So I feel like it's totally plausible that he'll do the role well. He's a bar owner, so I don't know what the situation is. Like, is he going to be the Carl of the show? Is he going to be in the main cast? Like, this part is questionable, so to speak. Not sorry, I don't want to say questionable. This one definitely, I'll say this one feels like the most diversity hire.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I feel like he's probably going to be the best actor.
I feel like I kind of agree with you in a way, but at the same time, he's probably the most qualified based on his resume.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe he is a diversity hire, but it's like he's the guy because he's in the show God Friended Me. He was in $1 Million Arm. He was in, like you said, Life of Pi. I think he had a part in Homeland.
Maybe he was in Wedding Season. I don't know about that show, but I've heard it was good. Someone told me it was good. I don't know. It was a woman, so like maybe they're just into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I know.
And by when I say diversity, I mean like based on the role that is coming up. Like you could probably make the same argument with Tien Tran, who's playing the adopted lesbian sister. So I don't know. Maybe that one's yeah.
I actually feel like she's the most.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe. I'm also thinking of like Suraj Sharma that way, just because like the bar owner role, like we've also done that in How I Met Your Mother, so it's like that one reminds me more. But like, who knows? Maybe like this other Space Force actress is more of the diversity hire, but she could be good. Like I've never seen any of her material. I'm not being critical of the actor or their talent when I say this. It's more just like it seems like they're trying to hit all the roles. Like I'll say this, like I haven't actually watched the show. But the actress playing Valentina is from a show called Grownish, and I've seen some clips from it. I think the show is honestly kind of a waste of time, and it does a lot of this like diversity, very left leaning stuff. And what I noticed from like watching some clips was like the only white girl in the show is also Jewish and bisexual. So it's like you're trying to knock out like so many of these like intersectional diversity points. Mm-hmm. It's like. Is this really necessary? Like, how many people in their life have a friend who is all three of these things at the same time? I'm not saying they don't exist; they totally fucking exist. But it's like, this just come off as like pandering and like just trying to slam all these intersectionality points together, and it's just like, God, just give me a fucking good show for once.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Based on the role she's playing, I feel like she is a diversity hire. She's
the Space Force one. Yeah.
She's a lesbian. She's separated from her wife. She's adopted. She's not white. I want to say I'm not gonna guess the ethnic background, but she's clearly.
Well, I mean, I don't know about. Well, I mean, based on the actress's last name, that mostly leads to Vietnam. But it could be anything.
Yeah. Some part in Asia, maybe, I don't know. Fruits.
Like I've seen the actress like pictures, like she is Asian, so like the character background could be anything because they haven't given the character a last name, but like the actress's last name traces its origins to Vietnam.
No, but I'm talking about the character itself, not the actor. She's.
So the character would have to be like of some Asian ethnicity.
Yeah, because the character is literally she's She's from a super small farm. She is adopted. She had a wife. She's divorced now, separated, and she's like all these
She's like a
things.
lesbian version of Ross from Friends.
Goddamn. But yeah, hopefully they're good.
Yeah.
Again, we don't want the show to fail. We want it to succeed because we
We really don't, because like for those who don't know, there was like a pilot for How I Met Your Father in like 2014 that or 2015 maybe, and that one like I think you can watch clips on YouTube. Like that one just straight sucks. But I don't know, like this one, it seems like there are more people behind it trying to like put their effort into it. So hopefully they do it well. Like I've obviously since I've watched How I Met Your Mother started like last year watching it more seriously. I think like there are ways I would do this better. Like I've even got like screenwriting ideas on my computer about like I would do this and this and this. So who knows if they get some of my ideas. Like I will say this. I don't know this for sure, but my theory is that Jesse, the Uber driver and aspiring musician, might actually be the love interest of Hilary Duff, but like not the father, but in the way that Robin was the love interest of Ted. And I actually like if I were to do this, I would probably make the woman's interest like initial interest a musician of some sort too. So I think maybe I don't know, like if they're following, I'm not saying they took my idea because I didn't put my idea out there, but like it's totally possible that they do this the way I want them to do this. Like it could be an actual good production by people who liked the original show and want to like do a tribute respectfully as the spin-off as a respectful tribute, but also like hopefully do their own kind of a thing.
Yeah, I like you said. Hopefully, we learn more about it.
Are there crickets in the background?
No.
I don't know. I hear some.
And my fan is on.
Maybe.
You're
Okay,
some
never
funky
mind.
sounding fan, bro.
Sorry, Spidey. Go on.
All right, I think I fixed it. Anyway, Dab, since you didn't talk about How I Met Your Father and our podcast is a little short, gush about the greatest DC show released that is out now.
So I'm not a fan of
Go for
Superman. I think Superman is very fucking plain and boring. However, Superman and Lois, that's what was on CW. What was it 15 episodes? That was on CW. Was actually really fucking solid. The storyline, the writing, the characters, like King mentioned earlier, the diversity of the characters that we had felt so natural. Like every town that you saw, every interaction they had, every workplace they entered, everything was as it should be, normal,
like realistic.
Yeah, and the just so that you guys get an idea of what it's about, it's basically Superman and Lois when they're already married and they've got their kids and the kids are grown up. They're like what 15, 16 or something.
Yeah, give or take, like high school age.
Yeah, so like they're grown up, and it's basically dealing with that kind of life. And then obviously stuff happens, but we won't get too much detail about that. But every character that was introduced, even the ones that you're meant to hate, were great. They were still characters that, despite your meaning to hate them, they were still enjoyable characters. I don't know how you guys felt about all the characters, but there wasn't a single character that I was like, oh, get them off the fucking screen.
The kids. No,
Damn.
I'm just kidding.
Damn, son.
I'm sorry, you could continue. But Injustice is canon in that universe? The video game?
The game and the comics as well, presumably. Yeah, we can talk about that if you want. That is a weirder aspect, but yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
Well, no, that's basically what I wanted to say.
So you highly recommend it?
Yeah, it's something that I would easily get someone to try and watch, and I'm hoping for another season. It's a CW show, so I'm sure there will be more seasons.
No, there's
Most
another
likely.
season. There is another season, and it's gonna premiere in the middle of the year. So it's again gonna be like a 12 to 15 episode season,
Cool.
which is good because that means they're not gonna drag fucking storylines for fucking ages like they do in the goddamn Flash, and they're gonna have
Or
a more
Supergirl, or when they did it in Arrow. Yeah, every CW show was doing that. Black
Yeah.
Lightning, from what I've heard.
Black-
I never actually watched much of Black Lightning because I didn't really care for the first episode.
because he's black. I got it. It's fine.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Sake.
Funny enough, Black Lightning
Your
was
mic
probably,
is bugging a little bit, Spidey.
is it a lot?
Yeah, it sounds like
A little
you're-
bit, but we can hear you. It's just like it's a little bit echoey.
No, I'm sorry. Let's see. What about now?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it's because I put it super close to my face. My bad. Black Lightning was actually one of the better shows because there was 13 episodes. It covered racism in a way where it was actually done smart. It wasn't Luke Cage where it was like, "Oh look, I'm black. Oh my god, I'm being hurt." No, it felt like
I haven't seen like Luke Cage either. Like the first,
Don't.
like I think one of the first scenes of Black Lightning was like he got pulled over by the cops or something, and he got out of it by quoting MLK. And
No,
I'm
he
like,
did not get out of it. He did not get out of it. The cop did not give a
But he-
single fuck about what he was quoting.
but he did it, right?
No, he didn't quote something. He was just frustrated because he's like, "This is the third time I'm pulled over to this day. Like, y'all gotta calm the fuck down." And it felt very.
Okay,
real.
maybe I'm thinking of something else then, but yeah, fair enough.
You're confusing a good show with. You're probably confusing it with Gotham, something that's super trash. It's fine.
I don't like Gotham anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm making fun of Dev. But yeah, so 15 episodes. It's gonna be storylines will probably be better, tightly knit, unlike other shows, like I said, and we don't have to worry about the CGI being abysmal like it was in the Flash. Dev, you could literally Google or YouTube Flash lightsaber fight. And
No, no,
you'll see
I've seen it.
it's so bad.
Yeah, that was really bad.
That was so bad. So I'm happy
Yeah,
that
I've seen it.
CW is like, now we're gonna keep this 15 episodes, 12 to 15 episodes. Y'all gonna like it. And it's cool. And there's no Supergirl to like stop it, so it'll just be constant. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see like Superman, the character, finally getting like some respect.
Kane, what did you think of the season overall?
I thought it was really good. Like from the first episode, I'm like, oh shit, this like actually looks good. Like that first 5 minutes that I'm sure everybody has seen because it's up on YouTube. Like if you haven't seen it, like go see it. Like even if you don't like Superman, you will like that first 5 minute intro to the series. It's just really well made and just really well structured. And you're like, holy shit, like I'm gonna watch this show. I think this is interesting. It describes pretty much everything about Superman in the most like modern and respectful kind of way to the character, and that like yeah, he's like a god among men, but he's still raised by humans. He has human feelings, and he is just really trying to be one of us while trying to be helpful to us. And I think they just did a really good job about that. The whole show is like pretty much that. Like, you know, he has his struggles too, like being a dad,
Yeah,
balancing
it
all
emphasizes
that.
that.
Yeah, it really
It's a
does.
big emphasis is that everything, despite being this overpowered, he's not immune to having his own family issues, day-to-day problems that we have.
Yeah, in a certain sense, like they're amplified for him, making him the most human of us all. But yeah, no, I thought the show overall was like very solid. I think it was like really well acted. I will say, like initially, I didn't when this actor showed up on Supergirl season 2. My thought was I actually thought he did have like a good Superman demeanor, but I just thought he looked terrible in the role. Like he is just not built like Superman, and part of this is obviously colored by the fact that we've had a string of like very large muscular men doing Superman because that's what you think of as Superman. Guys like Tom Welling, Brandon Routh, even Henry Cavill, who's not necessarily like, that tall but still very well built. Whereas this guy is just like, for an actor, he's just like very barely above average, if even that. But like, you know, I think they did a good job redesigning his costume to make him look bulkier, and I think with that plus his demeanor like being relatively consistent and the writing actually being good, like one of the biggest things I really disliked about Supergirl was how they'd constantly like, you know, put down Superman to prop up Supergirl. And I get it, like it is the Supergirl show, you have to make her look good, but you don't do that by denigrating the premier eminent DC superhero. that's not how it should work. The two have to work together, and
Yeah.
it was just one of the more annoying parts. But in this show, they're like, doing it really well, like, and they're talking about him respectfully. One of the things I actually liked the most was one of the more recent episodes. I think it was like episode 11, but don't quote me on that. It was John Diggle from the Arrow TV show comes to the show, and he's basically arguing with everybody because they misled him into the spoilers, people. They basically misled him into delivering to them a weapon that they will use to take down Superman, who's under mind control in this particular instance. And one of the things he says, like, tells like General Lane, like, you can't do this. This is Superman. He's Earth's hero. He's the best of us. Even Oliver would have said so. All of them would have said so, referring to Flash, Supergirl, Batwoman, and the like. Like, that is Superman right there, and it's good to see him finally getting the respect.
Yeah. Because, I was thinking about it, and they really nerfed the fuck out of Superman and Martian Manhunter for the Supergirl show.
It really did.
I was like, I remember that one scene, that one show, the episode where he was in Supergirl, and he needed Supergirl to save him or some shit. And I was like, wait.
Oh, yeah, wasn't it like Mind Control? The like end of season 2, I think, was what you're talking about?
Yeah, something like that. I was like, dude, what
yeah.
the fuck? Like, I'm not a Superman fan.
No,
but
she actually beat him in a fight.
Yes, that was it. I was like, I'm not a Superman fan, but like, my God, come on.
Like, I don't hate Supergirl. Like, I think as a superhero, like, Supergirl in Justice League Unlimited was fantastic. Like, that was one of the best characters on that show. But, like, and I'm not being critical of, like, the actress. I think the actress who plays Supergirl has done a good job with what she's given, but what she's given is poop.
Nah.
Has been poop for a while. Like, there's some good elements to it, but, like, after, like, season 1 I thought was just generally pretty good. I actually liked how they kept Superman off screen for the most part, and he was just helping out by texting and supporting her. But, like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the latter parts where he comes in and gets nerfed hard.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. I think we're going on a tangent with Supergirl. I think the problem with Supergirl was the writing. In many instances, it tried to be like, yo, girl power, fuck Superman.
Yeah.
And again, it's a cool message. I respect it because, women empowerment it's cool. Like, it should happen. But there's a way to do it. Like, Wonder Woman did it amazing, right?
Yes, it did.
And then we have Supergirl who's like on the opposite spectrum, and you're like, yo, what the fuck happened? These are two DC properties. Like, I get that you still... It's just... So this is why I'm very happy with going back to Superman and Lois. That Lois is like, she's got her shit. She does her own thing, and they're not like downplaying their importance for one another. And they're just like,
yeah,
you know what? These guys are it. The story, the writing is pretty top tier. There is some issues with it every now and then. I feel like,
but I do agree. Like, there's obviously certain things you could pick out, but at the same time, it's like with any show that's like 15 episodes per season or whatever, somewhere along the line there's going to be weak dialogue or there's going to be like a mini plot hole or whatever. Yeah. But on the whole, it doesn't really feel like these are things that add up necessarily. Sometimes they do, but I don't think it will happen here yet.
Yeah, most definitely agree with you. I the kids for me are annoying at times, especially the fucking emo one. I'm not gonna remember his name.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, they're teenagers. Like, they're doing a good job. Like, the actors, like, with the material they're given, and that seems. I mean, granted, I'm not a psychologist in any way. I can't say for certain whether that's like an accurate representation of like social anxiety disorder and the like. But if it is, then I don't know. I feel like it's probably doing a good job in that front.
Yeah. What is we talked a little bit about spoilers, so fuck it anyway. Dav, you could go first. What was your favorite scene of the season?
So when Superman is fighting, what's his name? The dude that came from the other timeline, the black dude.
Yes.
Oh, John Henry Irons.
Yeah. So when he's fighting him in the the fucking garage, and the guy's got the lights focused on him to weaken Superman. But then the boys come in and back the beef. That was probably my favorite scene. I like the fact that it showed Superman vulnerable, and his family, despite being human, came in and actually helped him, and he couldn't have done that without them. And kind of changed the pace of the story. Well, not the pace, changed the atmosphere of the story to where rather than them trying to keep the kids under wraps completely and tell them don't do this, don't do that. After that, they kind of realize, okay, you know what? We need to have the kids understand what their life is exactly going to be like and so on. So I think that was a turning point for me in the story, and it's probably my favorite episode.
Yeah, it was a very good scene. I agree with what you said. King, what about you, sir?
Honestly, I think my favorite scene is still that opening 5 minutes. I just thought that was like probably the most respectful Superman tribute I've ever seen. But if I have to
No,
choose another one, I actually really like the scene. It's like it's like the beginning of episode 15 where like his son has been possessed by Morgan Edge's Kryptonian whatever, and he's kind of like phasing in and out, and Superman doesn't want to like obviously beat the shit out of his own son. So I don't know. I thought that scene was pretty good.
this is for not cleaning your fucking room. No, yeah. Yeah, going to the first, like you said, the first 5 minutes. I'm trying to remember. It was like the tribute to the first appearance of Superman, right? With the saves the car.
With the green car, yeah, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
obviously they took some inspiration from the Christopher Reeves movie with the
yeah.
bumbling around the office, and then a little bit of like CW stuff with like him proposing to Lois and whatever.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that was really well done. It was like, this is
Yeah,
Superman in a nutshell. You're gonna love him. Give him a chance, and it worked out for me. This scene has probably been all over YouTube. When Superman gets shot by that soldier with that Kryptonian with the kryptonite, and he's like, oh, and he's almost about to beat the living shit out of him. I was like, yo, this man could go 0 to 100 real quick and make this an injustice type world. And this guy is just the fucking soldier felt bad or some shit, if I remember correctly. And I was like, damn,
yeah.
damn. Yeah, what would you give the season overall?
I'll probably give it about an 8 out of 10.
Okay. Anything you want to see fixed, either story wise, acting wise, in season 2?
Nothing major, really. The only thing that I kind of didn't enjoy too much is we didn't get. Okay. For season 2, I would like to see more of the boys in school, and because it's very clear that they're not necessarily, they don't necessarily fit into the school. And they've obviously got the people that don't like them, and they've obviously got the friends that they have. But I would like to see how the boys adapt to the school around them, because obviously now, with everything that's happened, as well as what's his name, got to learn to control his powers better, especially with the whole hearing situation where you can hear every flipping sound in existence. It would be nice to see them have to learn and adjust that part of their life, because obviously we've already seen in season 1 how they're learning to adjust at home. We've seen how Lois is adjusting at work. So now let's focus on the boys and how they're going to adjust through school, as well as try and focus on school.
Okay.
Because I feel like the show should. I don't want the show to become a superhero show. I want the show to stay a family-oriented show. That's what I want. I want my slice of life Superman with random shit that comes into it.
All right, fair. I agree. Just show that little school element. I mean, it doesn't have to be every episode.
Yeah.
But like frequent enough to where we remember they're actually in school and dealing with their own shit. King, what about you? What would you give the rating? What rating would you give it? And is there anything you would want to change or improve for season 2? King. And that was King.
Very funny. Ha ha ha. I would honestly give the show like a 9 out of 10. I thought it was like really well done.
Oh shit!
I
Power
think
died.
the only what?
I
Power
said that
died.
like half an hour ago.
Oh.
It's
And
okay,
whatever.
Craig,
Anyways,
go.
I
Kingston.
thought the show was really good overall. I think the only thing that I would really have changed was probably I like that there were things I wanted a little bit more of, like interactions with Lana Lang's family. Some school stuff would have been good, and maybe a little bit more of a tie into the overall DC thing. Like I like one of my favorite episodes is the one where John Diggle shows up, and I thought that was pretty solid. So yeah, I would like just a couple more things. They don't even have to be like characters showing up. Like I'm not expecting like what's her name? It um is Mia still in the Arrowverse?
She
No
should
idea.
be.
Oliver's daughter.
She should be.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not saying she has to show up necessarily, but something akin to that would be pretty cool, just to like tie everything together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I am completely in the opposite. I love that there's very little references and appearances, if you will, from the other Arrowverse shows because oh my god, they're a disaster. Um, I liked Diggle, but that's because I have an Arrow bias. I loved Arrow. There was only like one season I really didn't like, which was season 4. No, season 4. No, season 4. Yeah, with
Season 3 is really where it starts to go downhill.
No, yeah, it does, but I still liked it. But season 4 was with the organic corn and the underground sun and all that other dumb bullshit with Damien Doc. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of glad that, and this is just opinion. I'm kind of glad they're keeping it separate because I feel like that's what it's helping it have its flavor, if you will. That there's no other heroes there. That it's Superman or bust. And yeah, I mean they're setting up Diggle to be the Green Lantern, and I'm kind of excited for that. I wouldn't mind if Diggle shows up every now and then as a Green Lantern, but I don't want him to be nerfed because it's another show. I don't want a Supergirl type situation where they nerf the characters just so the main character could be good because Superman's already the strongest. But for me, like I said, I've grown tired of a lot of the Arrowverse shows. Flash is just abysmal at this point. It should have been canceled.
It becomes a milking situation, that's why.
Yeah.
It really does.
I haven't watched Flash in like 4 seasons.
You don't need to watch.
I try it and then I'm just like, I don't care about this.
The problem, and this is a rant, right? No, not really a rant, but it's kind of a rant. Problem with Flash is they changed the entire history of the fucking character. Oh, Bart is not his kid, is not his grandson anymore. It's his kid. And then we got Iris. Oh my fucking god, this whiny
Iris was great in season 1, and then the entire rest of the show she just became annoying, and now it's just a Barry and Iris show.
It's like, homie, she was essentially your stepsister.
And now you fucking your stepsister, fam.
Well, to be fair, like I did read about that. There is that thing where it's like psychologically, kids would never be into their siblings. It's called the Westermark effect. When Barry and Iris met, they were too old for that effect to have taken place. So romantic attraction was
but still
psychologically
it's still
possible.
A bit weird.
I agree that it is. I agree that it is creepy, but I'm just saying, like there is like a bit of a psychological reason why it is possible.
I feel like CW is not that smart. I feel like they're not that.
Look,
I mean, yeah, I don't know, maybe not. Like, I'm not. I do agree. Like, I would have preferred that this not be a thing. That she'd been like a family friend or whatever. I think that would have made more sense rather than being like adoptive stepsister or whatever. But generally speaking, I think that I agree with you. I thought that Iris was very annoying in multiple seasons, just not very well handled. It had plenty of like those same like feminist issues like Supergirl had. So it's kind of annoying to deal in a lot of situations.
The fucking line, "We are the Flash." No, bitch, you're not the Flash. He's the Flash.
Bro, then all of a sudden she knows how to use the entire supercomputer and everything, like perfectly. Like, no, go back to writing the story, bro.
The part
I mean, to be fair, like I feel like that stuff could just be explained by someone teaching her off screen.
Yeah, but I don't. That job belonged to people. I don't know.
When she gets mad at Barry for letting their daughter go back, or taking his daughter back to the future so it doesn't fuck with the timeline, why did you do that?
Well, he did it. Well, he did it because he was angry at her, not because it would have messed up the timeline.
But it would still end up fucking with the timeline. We know.
It would, but like that wasn't her concern.
No, I know it wasn't her concern, but she's like, "So fuck with." It's like it's our decision. Why did you make bitch? Like you're not a speedster. She's from the future. Get the fuck over it. So it's like I'm glad. I'm fucking glad. Everybody's leaving. Everybody's jumping ship. So I'm kind of hoping that means that just Flash is just no more after this.
Honestly, I do want the next season to be the last. Although I will say, like, I'm pretty disappointed about how they handled that whole thing with Ralph's character.
They could have just gender bent the fucking character. What did they end up doing? They ended up like,
well, no, like they wrote him off at the beginning of season 7, saying he was in hiding, and then they brought in some weird like melted CGI version of him and had someone mimic the voice, and then they were like, oh, I guess we're gonna just go off on our own adventures or whatever. Him and the girlfriend, and they're like, well, goodbye, man. We'll miss you. And then the girlfriend comes back for like half of the 7th season, and then he doesn't. He's just like, oh, he's tracking down a lead or he's doing something else over there. It's like, whatever, man.
they could. This guy doesn't he shapeshift? I'm pretty sure he shapeshifts.
He does.
Why not just? Oh my god, this is so stupid. This is a.
I don't know. I will say, like, I mean, I get that, but like, even then, like, I think they should have just hired the actor back. Like, I'm not saying like what. I'm not saying his tweets were good, but like, they weren't that bad. Like, I'm sorry, I'm being very controversial with that opinion, but I've seen so many worse fucking tweets. Like, I don't even think that these were that bad.
I get what you're saying, and it's more like we have just become desensitized to that type of shit. But like, he was never gonna get the job back because
I agree, but it's only because of like this fucking social climate. Just because like he trended on Twitter once, and then they fired him, and it's like, how many people would have even remembered it 6 months later? Like, this is a more of a general thing of like companies taking action because people get like immediately angry. People will forget the anger like a week later. Like, stop making impulsive decisions.
I get what you're saying, but it fucks with their profits and they can't have that.
I don't think it does though, if I'm being quite honest. Like, the show wasn't even like, was the show even running when that incident occurred?
No.
Like,
I'm
what
saying
airing?
I'm saying is when it's airing and he's on screen, it's gonna be like negatively seen, and it's gonna end up fucking with their profits through that or through their.
I mean, like, here, I understand what you're saying, but I don't know if there's any actual evidence to support that. Like, a measure of revenue to viewership when there's a controversy surrounding an actor.
I just went off of music because I know in music, I forgot who, but they were in a controversy and their sales kind of dipped a lot.
Who's not in a fucking controversy these days? Like, you're not fucking safe. So you did one shitty thing when you were a teenager, and then they're gonna fire you from your job when you're like 35 or whatever. It's just so stupid.
That's fine. No, I mean I agree with you, but I don't know where we're going with this topic. But anyway, back to bitching about Iris. I kind of wanted her to die off. Because, bro, she's just, oh my god. I thought Felicity was bad. Alright, I thought Felicity was bad.
Well, she is. Like, I liked her early on, but over the time once they get into relationships, man, fucking hell.
I just don't. I think the writers don't know how to write them once they're in the relationship. It's like, we gotta. What do we do now?
We gotta make her jealous. We gotta make her controlling. We gotta make her everything. We need drama.
This is a fucking tangent if there was ever one. This is why I like Bones, right? Once Booth and Bones, have you seen it? You've seen it. Once Booth and Bones got together, there was no drama about fucking, Dab had to go, so we'll end the podcast in a few minutes.
Yeah, you can. We'll close off with this Bones comment, and then we'll wrap it up for the day.
So yeah, once they got together, there was no drama about, oh my god, he's gonna be cheating on me. Oh my god, yeah, they had their own problems, as in like Booth was, spoiler alert, people, he was a gambling addict, so he went like in debt like massively, and then his wife not separated but left him for a bit so he could get his shit together. That's as far as it went. It never went like oh my god, I'm jealous because this bitch is talking to him. Like, oh my god, like no, bro. When you're in a relationship, if it's stable, homie or homegirl is not gonna be super jealous. And I think the Arrowverse, with the exception of Superman and Lois, has fucking took that and like cranked it to a million to make them like super jealous. When fucking who got married? Who was this couple that got married and then Felicity was like, why don't we get married? I was like, dude.
Oh, that was Barry and Iris.
Oh my god.
That was at the end of that big crossover with the Nazis.
It was so bad.
Yeah, I agree. That was terribly handled. I
Um,
will say
but
though,
yeah.
at least they addressed that. Like Iris was not happy that they did that.
Yeah, see, that's the only thing there. Iris has those few moments, and then it's like, oh, let me take 7 steps back because I've made progress. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? But anyway, that's enough of a rant on Iris. Watch Superman and Lois. It's on the CW app. If you have ad block, it won't get rid of the ads. As at least that's what I've been told. If you have HBO Max, just watch it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Check out the Lucifer trailer if you guys are into Lucifer. Check out the first few seasons. It's over on Netflix if you want to give it a try. You know where to read the chapters. And
read up on the How I Met Your Father show if you're interested. How I Met Your Mother is still on Netflix, and I think it's even on Disney Plus.
I think so, yeah. So check it out. Check it out, guys. And with that, King, your outro.
Outro time. Everyone, thank you again for tuning into the podcast. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to us. I'm actually thinking like maybe we should just make the podcast a little bit more interactive. So maybe we can, Spidey, we can talk about this afterward, but maybe we'll find a way to like get the viewers a little bit more involved. But otherwise, we do appreciate that you guys enjoy the podcast. You know, we do this for you guys to have a little entertainment week to week, something for you to have in the background while you're doing your homework or whatever, or if you're working from home these days, as many, many people are. So yeah, Dav could not be here, of course. He just had something come up. So we're going to close off the podcast now. The podcast, when it is released, you know, ping Spidey, tell him what you liked about it. And if you guys have any specific requests that you'd maybe like us to do, let us know, and we'll definitely give them a look. Watch Lucifer, watch Superman and Lois. Check out How I Met Your Mother if that's into something that you might be interested in, and possibly read up on How I Met Your Father. We will be back next time the Fairy Tale and Eden 0 chapters have some content out, so we will be back on schedule. And until then, we hope you guys have a great day, and until we see you next time, take care.
Bye, guys.